Every now and then we get into one of my favorite topics of discussion, fashion.
Yes.
But sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't, and sometimes we get into it with some style. Take a look.
Up next, every week there seems to be another fashion brand getting into trouble. Last week it was Gucci for selling a sweater that resembled blackface. And this week, it's Burberry for this hoodie, which debuted during London Fashion Week, that is accessorized with a noose around the model's neck. As expected, people were furious over the hoodie, which was eventually pulled, with Burberry CEO Marco Gabbetti issuing an apology that read, "We are deeply sorry for the distress caused by one of the products that featured in our AW 2019 runway collection. Though the design was inspired by the marine theme that was throughout the collection, it was insensitive and we made a mistake." One of the models featured in the show, Liz Kennedy, said on Instagram that she tried to speak out against the hoodie, but was ignored, adding that she saw staffers joking about the news, which one allegedly was hanging it from the ceiling. So not okay. Liz said in part, "Suicide is not fashion. It is not glamorous or edgy. And let's not forget about the horrifying history of lynching either." So, Mike, yeah, I'm here for Liz Kennedy. But I'm curious, Mike, what do you think of this horrific hoodie?
My wife and I are friends of a couple, D-Map and Kelly, who own a brand called Melrose High. Very high-end, very dope. They happen to be a black couple. And he told us just last night in a discussion in our barbershop, he said, high fashion, we as working class people tend to fall in love with something, and then we saturate it to the point we buy all of it. Those who can't afford it buy counterfeit. They get afraid that their high-end customers are going to get afraid because people who look like the people on this panel are buying their stuff, you know? And they do things like this just to turn us away, so we'll turn away from a while. So my thing is that we should be supporting brands like the one I'm wearing, Air Max. We should, which is a very overqualified to be a t-shirt and expensive, but it's nice. We should be shopping at places like Phoenix Sky, which is where I buy my wife's stuff, which is a black woman named Maya owns that. And we should be buying brands like Kosher Classics, which makes an amazing loafer comparable to Gucci. And we should be buying stuff like Melrose High. So if my grandmother always said, don't stay where you ain't wanted.
Wait a minute, I just want to get back to the conversation you had. I just want to reiterate that you think that the discussion was that they do this so that we don't buy it.
Yes. So what happens is we oversaturate, right? So you'll go buy real Gucci, and then your cousin Poochie will go buy fake Gucci, and then your auntie will bring out her old Gucci, and then they'll be like, oh my God, the people who are buying this, it'll scare away our regular customers. And they do this. See, I'm in Atlanta, and it's a little different. So you know how, like, if you walk in a Gucci store and a European store, they look at you like, what are you doing in here? You're not security. But in Atlanta, you know, everybody's black in there. And, you know, shouts out to Pam, my Asian lady there who takes great care of me. But in Atlanta, you don't feel it like the way you feel outside. So I get what people are saying, and I think you punish them. Punish them for 90 or 100 days. Punish them for 3, because a quarter is 90 days. Punish them, make them see what they're missing, and trust me, they'll come crawling back begging for you to buy them.
Do you think this is similar to how Chris Style for a minute viewed hip-hop using all their stuff in music videos? You guys remember the Champagne Cristal was in every hip-hop music video. Rappers would rap about it, and they actually came out, tell me if I'm wrong, at some point, and were like, that wasn't why we made this, or they didn't enjoy that kind of publicity?
Yeah, I like Moe anyway. But beyond that, Ace of Spades is an option.
Then Jay came out with Ace of Spades.
Rick Ross has, I think it's Bel Air is an option. Ciroc is 45% owned by Puffy. There are black options, and Black Friday is something that I did out of my show called Trigger Warning. So every Friday, I want to challenge everybody to find something black to support. Whether it's high-end fashion, food, and let's cross-pollinate culturally, because there are a lot of people that look like the people on this panel that are people of color that make dope stuff, and we should be buying and supporting building those companies.
Well said. Yes, I love that. I agree with you.